So in the previous video, we prepared all the samples, the RZ standard curves and the controls. And we now have a fully filled plate with 100 microliters. And again, everything now is in a 2x dilution, because in this video we're going to add the cells. And so everything will be diluted. So a short summary, we have the LPS standard curve, the reference standard LPS curve. We have sample 1 non-spiked, sample 1 spiked, and the NDP controls. And the same for product number 2, non-spiked in 3 different concentrations as for 1, spiked with the same concentrations as the non-spiked, but then with the spike sample in the middle of the standard curve, in this case R4, and then again the non-endotoxin pyrogens. So now we're going to prepare cell culture medium. So everything now has been done in RPMI only, so without any FBS or medium supplement. And now we're going to prepare the medium supplement and thaw the cells and get them ready for plating in the cells. So I will get... So I of course already have it ready for me here, the cell culture medium. So what you're going to do is you have the small bottles of RPMI and the FBS, the medium supplement. So you're going to take a 50 ml tube, add 5 milliliters of the medium supplement, and add 20 milliliters of RPMI. So you will have a 20% FBS solution. And the 20% is a 2x concentration, because again, in the plate there's no FBS or medium supplement in it. So the final concentration then in the plate, if we add it together, is a 10% FBS solution, where the cells feel nice and going to start producing all the IL-6 cytokines. So that's what I have already prepared. Then we're going to take the cells, and I don't know how experienced you are in cell culturing, but it's very important to thaw the cells and immediately go through the next steps to dilute the DMSO that's inside the cryo medium of the cells. So you've prepared your medium. It needs to be pre-warmed, so make sure that it's warm, 37 degrees. Then you take out your cells out of the liquid nitrogen or the -8 or wherever you have been storing them. You go to a water bath, where you cannot see it here right now, it's here in the back, and then thaw it, transfer it into a 50 ml tube. It's approximately 1 milliliter in the cryo vial, and then slowly drop 9 milliliters of warm cell culture medium to dilute the DMSO concentration in the cryo medium, so the cells can slowly adapt to their new environment, kind of. So of course this is already thawed, but for you want to thaw it, get it over, take 1 milliliter of P1000 pipette, take the cells out, mix carefully a little bit to resuspend a little, 2 or 3 times, put it in a 50 ml tube, then you will take your serological pipette and your pipette bore or pipette aid. You take 9 milliliters of the pre-warmed 20% FBS medium, and this might be a little tricky if you have not done it before, but try to drop carefully the medium while swirling the cells, and the rate of flow needs to be, let's say, 4 or 5 seconds per milliliter of medium added. And really make sure that the mixture here in the bottom in the tube is mixed carefully and well, so that you get a gradual decrease of the MSO concentration while you're adding this warm medium. And in the first 5 milliliters that you're adding, really make sure that you're using the rate of approximately 4 or 5 seconds per milliliter. In the last 4 milliliters, you can increase the rate a little bit to, let's say, 2 seconds per milliliter. And make really sure that you still mix the cells carefully here. So once you've added everything, just carefully take everything up and pipette it down carefully to make sure that there's a homogeneous suspension. So you have your cells now in 10 milliliter warm medium supplemented cell culture medium supplemented medium, and you're going to spin the cells down to get rid of all the DMSO for 10 minutes on 250 Gs. So again, we're not going to wait, of course, for 10 minutes in this video, but so you do the spinning, you get the cells, and you see the cell pellet. Then carefully remove the supernatant. I mean, I can show it how I will do it. So it should be a tight pellet, and you can then just carefully remove it by decanting it in a other container. So the pellet will still be visible there as a slight whitish cell pellet. And then again, you take another serological pipette, take again the pre-warmed medium, and I suggest in the protocol it says 10 mils, but maybe to have a little bit of an extra buffer on using the liquid, do 10.5 milliliters of a new medium, and then try to make the cell pellet loose and make a single cell suspension. And sometimes this needs some work, but the best thing to do is to take everything out, go a little bit more on the top of the tube, so you will create as less foam and bubbles as possible. And you can use some force to pipette it out. And then at some point you'll just see that the pellet will dissolve. So you have to, you might do this 10 times or 15 times, but you do this until you're sure you have a homogeneous cell, a single cell suspension. You take your plate, you take a new sterile liquid container, mix it, put the cells in a liquid container, take your multi-channel, 100 microliters, and fill the plate. You can see it, yes. Fill the plate without touching the insert of the wells. I mean, if you're not confident in pipetting above the wells and kind of squirting it out, just take new pipette tips every time you add the cells, because you of course don't want to cross-contaminate all the other wells. And then carefully add 100 microliters of the cells to your entire plate. So, and that's why I suggested to add 10.5 milliliters of cell culture medium to the tube. You just have a little bit of excess in your container, so it's easier to not run out of cells, so that all the wells contain exactly the same number of cells and volume. And here, the final plate. You added the cells. You just pipetting up is good enough for mixing the cells. If you use some force. Everything is prepared, cells on top of it, so you can put it in the 37 degrees CO2 chamber, or how it's called, incubator, and incubate it for 22 hours.